Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, featuring today a 1 vs 1 on Angoville. Yes, indeed, we shall be fighting on Angoville. Let's not try to say Angoville too much. But who shall be fighting right here? Well, in the southern corner, we shall be seeing Squirrelywrath. Yes, apparently the squirrels have risen up against the Huns as well. Anyways, fighting for the Americans. Fighting for the 2nd Infantry Division, ready to take on the Krauts. Opposing him shall be BikegoVroomVroom. Clearly we're dealing with a sophisticated military mind right here. We are seeing a 2 pioneer Wehrmacht quarter start with a Volkskanner squad as the first unit out of that Wehrmacht quarter. Sort of same thing here going on for Squirrelywrath, so no 4-3 engineers or pioneers. No forward barracks start. Nothing like that. Bit of banter going on there. Engineers heading west, engineers heading east, pioneers mostly doing the same thing. So I mean, rather mirrored fight. And of course, who shall the Wehrmacht be representing in this fight? Well, I wager in this case, let's just say it is the 352nd Infantry Division. And let us see how this shall work out. It looks like both fuel points being rushed by the American commander, quite interesting enough. Although I wager one is basically just there as a diversion track to sort of delay the fuel for his Wehrmacht opponent. Although it looks like in this case one got a bit scared, jumped back, losing his comrades in the process. That's going to be a bit hard to explain. Second unit on the way out is an MG42 for BikegoVroomVroom. Let's just refer to him as a Vroom. Or possibly as Guderian, as I believe that might actually be his real name. But, you know, real in-game name. I doubt he's actually called Guderian, since he's Russian. Oh yeah, seeing Riflemen pushing on here. Volkskanner setting up a nice position in the light cover. Riflemen sneaking, in fact, going away. Not quite fond of all these Volkskanner. Pulling back further and further, while the engineers mostly and largely in complete safety secure this part of the map. Although, again, this has been a bit of a failure. So far, I mean, Guderian is largely securing most of the map. Although we are seeing more Riflemen streaming in from Squirrelywrath. Riflemen getting suppressed by the MG42. Schweres MG42. Firing away, suppressing, damaging. One MG gunner looking very grim. Or possibly very nervous, I'm not entirely sure. Either that, he's constipated. But we are seeing Riflemen pushing up here against the Volkskanner. Oh dear, one moving about. Riflemen though, ooh, 2 men down already, but a Volkskanner also goes down. Up close, the Riflemen do definitely have the advantage. And looks like the Volkskanner is going to be the ones losing, but for some reason the squad leader is actually not the first one to die. In fact, he hasn't died. Now that's definitely a bit more unusual. Bike pushing in to support the MG42 pioneer, setting up position down here. Already there, a bit of mixed fighting, and I'm pretty sure Squirrelywrath doesn't cheat. He was broadcasting this live whenever this was recorded or played. Bike though continues to fire away. Rifleman down to half health. MG42 moving up, although could get rushed by the Rifleman right here. Bike moving in, trying to try and delay them, ensure that they do not rush the MG42 and get past it. There we go. Rifleman caught right in front of it. Oh dear, heavy losses. Bike and MP40s, everything else just tearing through these poor unfortunate bastards. 2nd Infantry Division bleeding manpower. And Squirrelywrath trying to figure out who this mysterious stranger is. And of course, he is Guderian, a pretty veteran company of heroes 1 player. To put it mildly, the sort of thing there's only talked about in hushed tones. But MG42 getting pushed back, but these 5 of them taken an absolute thrashing. They have been beaten, punished for their insolence towards the Wehrmacht. Meanwhile, we are seeing some Riflemen hiding up here in the attic, hoping not to be found by the Volkskanner. Or the Bike, which has so far managed 4 kills. Further troops reinforcing. We are seeing a sniper on the way, so the usual 2 Volkskanner MG sniper, but instead there's also a Bike, so he's, I suppose, freshening things up. I know, don't get bored. Well, that's not very, optimistic of your own skill level. Rather than pushing on, Volkskanner's getting pushed back. Guderian being a Jolly nice chap right there. Good to see. Mines going down right as well. Good. Good. And meanwhile, the Americans are shifting a bit to sort of secure as much as they can in these, although we are seeing a larger Wehrmacht force moving in. Volkskanoners and MG, while a smaller force hiding over here, basically delaying and blocking the American force. With some additional mines being laid in. Sniper is soon ready. There we go, in fact. Scharfschütze. Sniper König. Doing that with the scope Gewehr 43, although the K98K was better. Although again, I suppose with Veterans 3, a German sniper can actually fire faster than an American sniper. And there we go, mine hit, rifle pinned. 2 down, the rest not really looking all cheery. Further find continues sniping, also taking up position. We are seeing a supply going up for Squirrelywrath, so he's probably going for the motor pool. Again, not unusual. And again, if you sort of see nothing on the rifle, if you see nothing from them, and you don't suddenly get troop sniped, I mean, he's going for an armored car. And if there's actually going quite a bit of time, and he's also held quite a bit of on the map, he might in fact be going straight for Shermans. So as a Wehrmacht player, do have to be a bit cautious about these things. Also applies to Panzerlead, of course, but even more to the Wehrmacht, I believe. But supply it up, so I imagine we'll soon be seeing that motor pool, that pool of motors, that vehicular fleet structure. Riflemen reinforcing, that's quite a few there. Of course, the engineers as well. Still nothing being built, no flamethrowers being equipped even, quite interesting enough. No mines from Squirrelywrath. But then again, who said squirrels were good with mines? Not me, that's for sure. But there we go, flamethrowers being equipped. More of the assault force now being leveled against Guderian and the 352nd Infantry Division. Fortunately getting pushed back.
We are losing ground.
And we are hearing a bit of wiring going on, but I'm not entirely sure where. Is it here? Oh, right there, to sort of ensure the fuel point there doesn't get harassed while the American is making a pretty bold push right up here in this entire western flank where there's been practically nothing, but now there's mines. Mines everywhere. Sniper pulling back, staying within range of the MG bunker. Rather than getting sniped. Not entirely fancying that. Also, fun fact, Americans didn't really actually have anything you might actually call a sniper. They had marksmen, but not anyone who really had received sniper training. Also, fun fact number 2, in Normandy, they were quite convinced there were snipers everywhere, while in reality it might just be one poor guy caught behind enemy lines, not fancying getting captured. But it looks like this bike is actually doing pretty nastily. Might not survive, but the MG42 quickly stops this. The MG34, by the way, was actually also used throughout the entire war, but the MG42 essentially was better in practically every way. The only sort of major reason besides using the MG42 was still, there was still a reason to, produce it, I suppose, because otherwise you'd have to retool factories and actually lose production, but also because tanks needed them. The MG42 wasn't really useful for tanks. The MG34, on the other hand, was, so besides the 42, the 34 was also still produced and handed out to sort of lesser elite units, and generally units which weren't so desperately in need of the MG42 and well, generally weren't important. Major difference between the 34 and 42 was the 42 was easier to produce, could fire more bullets, was easier to maintain, and I believe it was also generally cheaper to produce. So overall had a lot of benefits. Rather than getting sniped, not doing too well there. Volkskanoners pushing up. And another rifleman bit the dust. That looks like a smaller force moving up here, going straight for the cutoff point, which has been mined again by Guderian. Oh dear. MG42 gunner goes down. Oh, mine goes off, pinning down one squad of riflemen, hit down to low health. Pioneers laying down mine right in front of everyone. And oh dear, this MG42 squad is absolutely murdered. Rifleman pushing through the brush. A full retreat, and the bike with its damaged engine. Helmut cursing the bike, and the mechanic who was supposed to fix it clearly must have been Italian. Anyways, Rifleman getting pushed back, not doing too well there. Well, what do I know? Well, they Italians apparently never were good with any sort of armor vehicles in the war. Grenadiers arriving. He's apparently feeling very confident he's not going to be hit by anything, or at least he's feeling confident the amount of damage he's been able to do to Squirrelywrath. I mean, that's also something you usually might want to keep in the sort of, you know, calculations. I've actually done a lot of manpower damage to my opponent, then again, I can perhaps buy myself some more time. But we are seeing Squirrelywrath going pretty heavily for this cut-off point. In fact, let's go have a look at him. He's gone infantry. So of course he'll be taking the much slower approach, but also the one with the artillery, the rangers, and the off-map combat groups if you so decide. And these grenadiers are what you call surrounded. Also note, Guderian has gone for the weapon support center. Mr. Vroom Vroom. Grenadiers getting pushed back. At least I'm pretty sure it's Guderian, since he was the one that posted it. Anyways, we are seeing a bit of a push up here. No mines though from the Wehrmacht, from the 352nd. Greyhound ready though. The Greyhound, originally conceived as a tank destroyer, yes indeed, ladies and gentlemen, though was quickly shifted over to an armoured car, was primarily the one used by the Americans. They did also develop the T-17, but that was used by the Brits. The Americans just favoured their Greyhound. That was also one without a turret and a gun, which was sort of more of a utility vehicle, scouting, and a bit of other things as well. And we are seeing the Volkskanadier force move towards here. The west. Mines again. Covering sniper providing fire support. 9 kills for this fellow. Oh, these Riflemen are not doing too well. And Squirrelywrath has been pushed back a wee bit, I fear. Squirrelywrath will need to rather push back the opponent. We are seeing a weapon support center going up, so I imagine he might be getting a sniper of his own to stop the crouch sniper. And the pack gets discovered. Oh dear, oh dear. 50 caliber doing quite a bit of damage, and oh goodness gracious.
Enemy unit.
Yeah, that's sort of a fun fact about Wehrmacht bases. The MG arcs are not really that strong, plus if a building blocks it, yeah. So essentially what we've got here is the what's up dock situation, where Squirrelywrath has waltzed right into the opponent's space and is now just wreaking havoc. And we're not just talking with an armored car, we also got infantry. Grenadiers screaming to fight to the last bullet, which is always the attitude we like to see, but I mean, Jen would have been more preferable if the American Riflemen had not ended up there in the first place. But the Riflemen might want to consider retreating now. They are taking losses. The Greyhound, though, gaining veterans in 1. And tearing through these Grenadiers. And looks like Forrest here makes it out of there in 1 piece. And the pack having to move up is now rendered a bit useless. Now the Greyhound is escaping its evil Panzer up their clutches. So that was a nasty little raid right there by Squirrelywrath, who's in the meanwhile has used this opportunity to rather go for all the points on the left hand side of the map. Jolly good show. And BikegoVroomVroom, aka Guderian, is actually rather low on units. He's lost most of them. In fact, he's down to, well, a Pioneer squad, 2 Volkskanadier Grenadier, and, well, a pack. Everything else seems to be dead, including his sniper and his... So that's not really too good. He will definitely need to replace them, of course. In the meanwhile, if Squirrelywrath pushes well, he can actually do a lot of damage, a lot of harm to the Wehrmacht. But looks like the response has come from the 17th SS Panzergrenadier Division Götz von Belichingen. An armored car rolls in. These Volkskanadiers trying to hold out are getting assaulted by Riflemen and an armored car providing much more heavier fire support, pushing away the Volkskanadiers. And meanwhile the Puma, or the... not the Puma again, it needs an upgrade again. The Puma is the thing with the 50mm gun. This is essentially just a schwerer Panzer Spähwagen and heavy armored car.
Taking our territory.
Volkskanadiers though, taking a bit of damage. 7 kills for this Greyhound.
Sniper, ready for orders.
Also known as the Windhund, but the Germans, if I'm not mistaken. But Sturmhaubitze has arrived.
They're taking one of our heavy infantry reserves.
Mind you, the Sturmhaubitze was not based on a patch for chassis like the Stug 4. It was supposed to have been, well, a Stug 3, but I imagine that was just a bit easier for relic, and we can, of course, allow that. Grenadiers though coming under heavy fire again. The 50 caliber really doing a bit of damage. One should not underestimate the firepower of the 50 caliber. It can actually tear through infantry and be generally a pain in the arse. Riflemen advancing, coming under fire from the 242. 2 down, 4 to go. Rangers now being ready to call in. Mines going down for Squirrelywrath. About time. It's a bit low on that. It could also do with the medic station or supply and upgrade. 242 needs to be a bit careful. It's on its own.
Losing ground out there.
Ever so lonely on the eastern part of the map, while the pack, the armoured car and all the infantry is on the western part. So definitely needs to be careful lest it gets flanked. I mean, an armoured car could rush around it and do some damage to it, in fact.
Where we headed?
Tree ascending going up for Squirrelywrath. His infantry pretty wounded and definitely in need of a tree ascent, so that's a good move. Armor coming up, Greyhound moving in. Who shall be the winner in this deadly fight?
Listen up, people.
And we are seeing a bit of a push right here. Squirrelywrath going full bore into the western half. Oh dear, sniper getting caught by the heavy armored car. Will the armor car get him, or will it not? Already here, a bit of damage though to the Greyhound armored car. False guys, Grenadiers. Oh dear, could lose a Grenadier squad. Could lose it. Oh, Grenadier squad went down for Guderian. For the 52nd losing some of its better infantry. But looks like they should do. Oh, another armored car, but that just hit a mine. Definitely not looking too good. A larger push on all fronts. Mines getting spotted. False guys getting forced to retreat for all of this. The armored car just continuing to tear through the Americans. Definitely a bit of a setback. Though at the same time, Squirrelywrath didn't do as much damage as I imagine he might have hoped he would have done in the first place. Anti-tank gun though has arrived. Just put a stop to the Krauts and their Panzers, or their wannabe Panzers, their Ersatzpanzer. And mostly it's armored cars. Mines going off left. Oh dear, these riflemen are not doing too well.
Can now make sticky bombs.
Sticky bombs ready.
Point captured.
False guys moving out once more, led by pioneers, but nothing else really, no further infantry. No additional pioneers have arrived, it seems like. Oh, more mines. Really paying themselves off. Guderian has done quite well in just mining as much as possible. And there we go, heavy armored car took a nasty hit from the anti-tank gun, down to less than half health. Panzerfaust galore from the False Grenadiers. But engineers are on the job and are quickly setting about to repair it. These riflemen might want to consider getting out of there before the armored car ends their lives in a most spectacular manner. Americans holding up desperately as False is supported by an armored car rake through them. Nice combination. With the armored car providing support with its auto cannon. Although, anti-tank are moving up and the Greyhound could be moving in for the kill, gaining veterancy too. That's actually going to increase penetration. And if it gains veterancy 3, it actually gains a damage bonus. Armakawa here, though, doing a lot more easily since there's absolutely nothing to stop it there to end its reign of Germanic terror.
What's our plan?
This Greyhound is definitely a bit more nasty right now. Let's hope Squirrelywrath doesn't just throw it away in a few seconds. Sturmhaubitze blasts out another 105mm shell of the high explosive kind. It did have armor piercing shells, just in case, but I mean, that was mostly to be left for the actual Sturmgeschütz in case it came to such an engagement. There we go, the Greyhound moving in to hit the flank. Stu actually moves in front of it, allowing the pack to take up a good shot. There we go. Greyhound down to half health. Has to be careful. Pioneer's trying to repair. Looks like a repair bunker, in fact, is up for Guderian. And the 352nd, let's go look at him. In fact, oh, armored car went out of control. Another Panzerfaust volley wrecks the allied vehicle. Stu 42 moves up again, ready to belch out another high explosive round. Getting hammered though by the anti-tank gun. Another push by Squirrelywrath, really hoping to do some damage this time around. Ooh, sniper could have gone down, but no, he did manage to retreat in time. And an American sniper moving up as well. Well, I'm not entirely sure. Wait, there we go. Pack crew dead. Blitzkrieg has been chosen as the doctrine of Joseph Course 4. Daring, and looks like the Volksguns are quick to recrew that. Panzerabwehrkanone. Not much effort right here going on. The armored car still proving to be the foil of Squirrelywrath. Nebulous fire hitting right here, so apparently we are seeing a bit of more heavy artillery, and the 352nd actually had its own Nebulous battery attached to it. So in that sense that would actually fit into a sort of force structure. But no armored cars. They did have Sturmgeschütz, but no armored cars. Rangers though have arrived, and they are quickly equipped with the Thompson submachine gun. The Americans later tried to develop a cheaper submachine gun, the M9, or is it the M3 grease gun, but it did have a few of its own problems.
We are losing ground.
And the armored car quickly makes a run for it as the Rangers advance. Bazooka rockets flying, the bazooka being the sort of thing the Germans developed the Panzerschreck after they captured a few in North Africa. And they generally improved it by actually making it effective against armor. The bazooka right there could only penetrate about 60mm of armor, which basically meant that most German armor couldn't actually penetrate after about 1942, when it had all been up armored. Even the Panzer III would have had its frontal armor 70mm. So the bazooka had a few problems right there. And of course it really could deal with the Tiger at all, because the Tiger had pretty much thick armor all around. Although it could have dealt with a Panther if it had armored skirts on. But a push, another by Squirrelywrath. BAR's ready. Pack could once more get discovered. And we're seeing another fight going on here. Armored car fights against Pioneers. Flamethrower engineers leading the charge, hoping to clear out the infantry, but they don't quite make it. And in the west, oh dear, sticky bomb on the Stu. Riflemen taking heavy losses. Engineers catching on fire, or Pioneers as they're trying to repair. And these Rangers keep holding out, trying to get that goddamn armored car, but no, they are forced away. Really a lot of action all of a sudden going on here. Left and right, people are dying. It looks like we are seeing a second armored car for Squirrelywrath, hoping to once more let his Squirrelywrath rain down upon his opponent. But his forces have been quite decimating. I mean, it means a lot of infantry is down to very low health, and looks like he's even lost a rifleman squad.
Veterancy gain.
It's generally not a good thing, and looks like we are seeing some veterancy for the support units of Guderian and the 352nd, with another Nebelwerfer on the way and another sniper. Armored car moves in here, dealing with the Volksguns, and could deal with the armored car, although it looks like we might be seeing mines. No. Anti-tank gun moving up as well. This could prove to be the demise of this grey armored car. Careful. And there we go, a nasty hit right there. Oh, anti-tank gun missed. Mines going down. Minesweeper engineers moving up, clearing the way for the Greyhound, but looks like the armored car does make a swift escape. Oh! Clearly these engineers weren't paying attention. Stu 42 with 17 kills, doing quite nicely right there, although interesting enough, no veterans as of yet from Guderian on his armor. And I do believe we are hearing the sounds of artillery happening away. These Volksguys forcing them away, even scaring away the pioneers. Come on, men, you're pioneers. Well, you're supposed to be pioneers who were quite, in fact, excellent combat troops. They were, in fact, assault troops, and not just, you know, guys who built stuff. That was rather sort of the purview of American engineers. Lots of nebula fire in this case, though, flying way too far. 2 snipers, veterancy 2. We're seeing quite a bit of munitions right there for Guderian. He's got close to 500. My goodness.
Attention.
That's quite a bit.
The enemy advances.
He's not used really a lot of it. I mean, he could be using, you know, but then he's all been holding both high munitions point, if not several of them at least. That's definitely to his advantage. Riflemen coming, Volksguys coming under heavy fire snipers. There we go. Setting off. Anti-tank gun could be a problem. Armored car moving in. Could this be the end as it hunts down the snipers, perhaps? Rangers moving in. A bit of light fire on the Volksguys as the Greyhound also opens up. Ooh, down to 1 man. And so largely the eastern map part of the map has been cleared out. It looks like a pack is moving in to try and deal with these pesky Yankees with the awesome might of the Panzerabwehrkanone 38. Stu 42 moving up as well. Oh, nice shot again. 3 riflemen dead. Oh, engineers also dead. And also note he's actually laid down tanks upstairs, so his opponent, Mr. Guderian or BikegoVroomVroom, can actually charge into his base right away.
Replacements fall in.
Well, and as it goes for Blitzkrieg, he gets a Tiger or a Panther. So there's, of course, quite a few caveats right there. And now we are seeing veterancies 3 for the support units. Quite interesting. That, of course, means the snipers will be firing much. Oh my goodness! That's ow! Dear, he just lost an entire rifle squad to Stu 42 and a sniper. And the armor car is taking heavy damage from the Panzerabwehrkanone as well. This is definitely not going well for the 2nd Infantry Division and Squirrelywrath. Suddenly a bit of a few nasty reversals after have done so well. How tragic. Pioneers with veterancy 3 actually sort of reasonably tough. I mean, they're never going to be stormtroopers or Knights Cross holders, but they can certainly take a bit more damage. Rangers moving in. Stu 42 taking heavy damage. Could get sticky bomb, could get knocked out by the anti-tank gun. What will happen? Sticky bomb, there we go. Anti-tank gun cleared out. Oh dear, this could be the end of the Stu 42 and its reign of terror. But so far, no luck in penetrating and dealing the killing blow. Riflemen taking heavy losses there, trying to push forwards. And there we go, Stu 42 went down, Rangers barely survived. Armored car actually also went down for Guderian. That was a bit of a swift kick to the gonads. But, I mean, the 2nd Infantry Division under Squirrelywrath is definitely reeling. I mean, they really got punished in this fight. Lots of men lost, which is definitely going to cost a lot just to reinforce, but also entire squads lost, engineers lost. I mean, I think he's lost all of his engineers, in fact. That's not really, you know, a small matter. That's large. That's huge. I mean, sure, Guderian lost something as well, but I mean, he's clearly not reading as much as Squirrelywrath, who is probably now fuming and boiling with Squirrelywrath. Interesting enough, there's still been not a single supply yard upgrade. Anti-tank gun coming under sniper fire. Rifleman Rangers moving in. Small Rifleman squad moving in here. Nebula fire raking this area for some apparent reason, which is not quite apparent to me. Rangers charging in. Folks going to take up to security position. Oh, Pax getting uncovered. This could be a huge blow, and this could in fact allow the Greyhound to rush in and do whatever it wants. Two snipers getting caught. Getting pushed away, in fact. Bike getting discovered. Will the Pax make it to safety? Or the anti-tank guns, whatever you'd like to call them. You could call them Larian Melville right there. Enemy unit notes might be a bit difficult to have other people understand. There we go. Anti-tank gun crew number 1 dead. Mine goes off. Looks like the first one survived. Charging right into the base, and we're seeing artillery getting called in right there in the central bunker on the position of the snipers. And if they want to get out, then they have to retreat away. But no, they actually take up positions inside the bunker. Will the bunker survive? Might not, in particular not with the Greyhound firing. And there we go, snipers getting out, but oh dear, one went down to the artillery fire. And the other one could go down to the Greyhound. Oh dear, 2 snipers down in... Oh, bugger. And that clearly did not please Guderian.
We are losing a sector.
He might be mad, but he's not so mad as to break common etiquette and post in all caps. Well, not at least unless it's by accident, so that's always nice to see. But I mean, again, Squirrelywrath does need something to break out of this, and he's floating quite a bit of resources. He could definitely get some more infantry, but no, he's getting an on-map howitzer. He's going to blast the Hun back to Germany. And looks like a Tiger has arrived for the 352nd from some unknown schwere Panzerabteilung.
We're losing ground out there.
Oh dear, that's quite the minefield that Guderian managed right there. These riflemen desperately need to get... Oh, don't run into it, don't run into it! Yeah, they did. That's another rifleman squad biting the dust right there. Out has yet to fire a single shot in anger. Squirrelywrath has been pushed back a wee bit.
Grenades have arrived.
That's not to say he hasn't done any damage to Guderian at all. But he's suffering too much in the process, I fear, and he doesn't really have much to really sort of make up for it, although he's finally getting a supply yard upgrade. Which is definitely called for. He's actually bleeding quite a bit in terms of upkeep. Grenades going off. Volkswagen's not doing too well here, but again, down to 2 infantry units, a sniper. And then a smattering of support units. Not really doing too well right there. In particular, all the Nebelwerfers constantly raining incendiary death down upon the heads of his men. The question is, of course, how will Squirrelywrath try and break out of this? Apparently we're trying to hammer the Nebelwerfers, or just firing whatever suits him well. Apparently this Wehrmacht quarters, which doesn't really result in anything for him, doesn't even knock it down. Greyhound moving in towards these, trying to hunt down some pioneers for 23. Small force also moving in towards the west, although again not a very strong one. Small blockade position being established right there by Guderian to try and stop the armor cover. Decides to rush in to his base again. Volkswagen's moving up. And what is the Greyhound doing? Absolutely nothing. Oh dear, oh dear. Looks like he's He's actually causing the anti-tank gun to turn about, but then what happens? Tiger arrives from the other angle. Oh dear. What a nasty little trick right there by Guderian.
Weapon crew.
Not entirely sure what this Greyhound intends to do with that Tiger. It looks like he's merely trying to serve as a distraction, a diversion. Oh dear, the Greyhound goes for another assault on the German base and might be even catching another sniper.
Enemy unit down.
Oh dear. Squirrelywrath clearly enjoying himself in this moment of punishing the crouch snipers. Though of course for how long his laughter shall be sustained is another matter entirely. Main gun destroyed, and we are seeing a bit of artillery getting called in on this Nebelwerfer, trying to stop some of all the artillery accessible. But also note with some veterans, the Nebelwerfer can move it faster. In this case, it did not good for them. Another push in the west, and so down in fact to one Nebelwerfer, having had two. 352nd though is still holding out, although they are in fact getting slowly pushed back, but for how long? Looks like Squirrelywrath is securing additional riflemen for his war efforts. That's good, that's very good in fact. Trying to knock out the repair bunker. The Tiger moves in all on its own. That seems a bit reckless, but there we go. 3 riflemen dead with 1 shot. Still no attempt at an off-map combat group. That might be a benefit. Rifleman going in, getting the Nebelwerfer perhaps. Yes, indeed, Nebelwerfer crew is dead. Pack could be next. Veterans you want for these riflemen. These heroes of the United States. Well, we're seeing another grander push with more riflemen and some rangers towards the west. I think someone hit a mine over there. And now another armor car arrives for Guderian, aka BikegoVroomVroom. So light skirmishing left and right.
What day we lock it down? We have a point, and we're damn well gonna keep it.
Need something?
Rangers advancing up. All a bit quiet. As both players are sort of wondering what to do in particular. I imagine Squirrelywrath is a bit unsure what to do. He's constantly suffering losses by now. Constantly losing rifleman squads. Not quite minding delivering the proper blows to Guderian. In particular, he's calling in stormtroopers, getting equipped with assault rifles. He's probably going to try and catch the snipers that way.
Rangers ready. What we do?
And again, though, very, very dense mining by Guderian. Very sort of effective mining, in fact. Quite extraordinary to see such dedication, of course, skill in mining, and that's definitely what is always a good thing to try and remember. It's basically just to mine the crap out of everything. It's definitely going to be of a great aid to you.
Front shifting. Crowds are grabbing territory from us.
Still, Squirrelywrath does hold the advantage in victory points, and of course the trick might be would essentially just try and keep the victory points as long as possible, and basically try to drain Guderian of them. But of course, question is, will he succeed and will be able to actually keep up that fight? But it looks like he might be able to call in an off-map combat group reasonably soon. Of course, question is, will it happen? Oh, artillery right here. Not entirely sure what he's trying to get. Might have been the Nebelwerfer.
Being captured.
Only what he did was manage to damage 1 armored car. Another anti-tank gun, still in off-map combat groups. Artillery keeps firing, keeps hammering. Very close hanging the Pioneers while the Rangers and the Riflemen continue the hunt. Quite the back and forth battle. Let's return to Guderian. Who must have lost the Volkswagen squad at one time, but clearly that's about it. And oh dear, another Rifleman squad was vanquished. Now Stu 42 arrives, tearing through these poor unfortunate bastards. The Rangers anti-tank guns left on their own, though, on the western front without support. That's not going to end well. Not going to end well at all. But let us speed this up a wee bit. Oh dear. Stu 42 continuing to heavy damage. Nebelwerfer joins in. Anti-tank guns trying to deal with the Germans as best as they can, but now I think we are seeing the tank, although it did hit a mine, damaging its engines, but still it should be able to do quite a bit of damage to the American armored assets. American sniper moves in though, gets another kill, 14 now. And the artillery though of the 2nd Infantry Division is so far not really achieving much in terms of a kill ratio.
Pump system in order.
I doubt these Rangers are going to be making it home. More artillery. Squirrelywrath does seem to have a bit of issues with this Stu 42 in particular now that it's got armor veteran 2, thus giving it an MG, allowing it to even further stop infantry, damage them. And another Rifleman squad went down for Squirrelywrath. Oh dear. Stormtroopers moving in. Sniper though escapes, but the anti-tank gun though is in a completely different situation. Trying to get back to friendly lines, but instead of running into a few stormtroopers, making short order of that anti-tank gun crew.
American unit destroyed.
That largely looks like the end of Squirrelywrath's forces and the 2nd Infantry Division, but let's just speed this up a bit. See what he might try. I imagine we might be seeing an off-map combat group. I would imagine it being the best choice at the moment. Clearly getting it very soon. Lieutenant arriving. Now just getting a lot of assault guns apparently.
Glorious struggle. Honor and blood. Present this Iron Cross.
And clearly not what Squirrelywrath had hoped for. He got one anti-tank gun, one rifleman squad, one mortar team and one heavy machine gun team. I imagine he might have hoped for something a bit more good at blowing up tanks. Possibly some anti-tank destroyers. And there we go, the push. But will it be enough? In particular now with the Sturmgeschütz arriving, veterans is free. The armored skirts and everything else good. No armor piercing rounds from the 30 cal machine gun, that could work actually. And oh my goodness, that's an awful lot of munitions. He could just blitzkrieg now on and pretty much knock out his opponent. They're not running out of munitions, I think. Anti-tank gun coming under heavy fire, but the assault guns just keep pressing on. Mortar suffered a horrible fate. And that Stu 42 is definitely doing quite well. 21 kills. And basically just charging into the base of Squirrelywrath. The end of the sniper. The end of a decade. So I mean, there you go. A victory for the 352nd in the face of the 2nd Infantry Division. And of course, what can we learn from this? I mean, rather what won the game partly was, you know, the excessive mining by Guderian or BikegoVroomVroom, whatever. I mean, he just kept mining, he kept points, he kept roads, Just everywhere he figured the opponent might go, he placed a mine. That rather worked out with him. That rather caused some heavy losses to Squirrelywrath. Of course, Squirrelywrath could also have benefited from a supplied upgrade earlier, and definitely also a medic station. But I mean, Squirrelywrath really lost a lot of infantry, and essentially was just that unit preservation not quite working out for him, which in the end lost him the game. And definitely also he lacked mining himself. I mean, had he been able to sort of mine and make it much harder for awkward daring to advance, he'd probably also been a much better position. But sadly that did not happen. In the end, the 2nd Infantry Division lost. So there you go. Do hope you enjoyed. If you did, why not subscribe and tell your friends? And if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own? This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.